Flow like a dream, sting like the pain. I've been fighting for my name like I'm Cassius Clay.
The way I could describe it is a little bit more sterile without, with.
Flow like a dream, sting like the pain. I've been fighting for my name like I'm Cassius Clay.
Once again, a little more roomy.
A little bit more warmer, a little bit more vibier. But this thing is cool, the flux. So this essentially distorts your vocal in a pleasing way, saturates your vocal in a pleasing way. So listen to this, like if I exaggerate this, check it out.
Flow like a dream, sting like the pain. I've been fighting for my name like
That's
I'm
that
Cassius
Kanye
Clay.
West shit. That's that Kanye West right there. That's dope. I did not know that's hard.
Come on, bro.
Sonic Gold Production.
What's going on, friends and fam? This is Princeton Brown from Sonic Gold Productions, here to help you turn your music into Sonic Gold. And today I got a super amazing video planned for you. As you can see, I'm just finishing up some edits here, but this video is all about hip hop and rap vocal mixing. I'm gonna be diving in and showing you guys every single step that you need to know to take your rap and hip hop vocals from something that's mediocre to something that's completely amazing and professional sounding. Specifically, I'll be diving into the 3 main compressors that you need to know as someone who is mixing hip hop or rap vocals. This also applies to other genres such as R&B and singing vocals, but specifically we're dealing with hip hop and rap vocals today. These are 3 must-know compressors that are the most famous and widely used compressors from all time in regards to mixing. And you should be very familiar with their sounds and their functions and what they do. But before we dive into this entire video, I have a free resource available to you guys. It's a free mini course that you can take on my website called 6 Mix Finalizers. And I created this for new and returning viewers to this channel, just like you. I wanted to give you 6 techniques that you can apply to your mixes so that you can finish your mixes more consistently, faster, and with more confidence. If you apply any one of these techniques, it's going to completely change the game for you and your mixes. I'm sure of that. So check that out. It's a free resource, gift from me to you. Link for that is in the description below. And without further ado, super excited. Let's dive into this video. Make sure you have some time, you know, this is a little bit longer of a video, so you're definitely gonna wanna sit down and have some time to enjoy this. Let's go. First things first, we just imported the tracks. You got, of course, everything is raw. You just wanna get levels first. So I'm gonna mute, or not mute, but I'm gonna turn down everything. First thing I'm gonna do is group all of these audio tracks. Command G to group them, because then that allows me to
move them all at once.
Exactly. So just bring all them down a little bit. And then I just want to solo the beat and the lead right now, because I just want to get a balance between those 2 things.
Dodging punches from the world, still I pop and weave. Turn my losses into lessons, now my pockets breathe. Came from nothing but.
And then another thing too, you got to pay attention to is, so the master right here, this is telling you how loud your output is. So we want to get the output like closer to like where this mix is going to end up. So let's put on the loud. You know what this is?
You show me what that was.
What is it?
Loudness meter.
Yeah, but how do you understand it?
So you got a long-term sound, which tells you majority of the song, and the short-term tells you more in that moment. But you got ranges where you want to keep it at. So like
you know how to understand like the numbers of LUFs, 22.
So I know like some, like when you're in the final mix, some where the streaming services prefer it to be between about 14 to 9.
That's pretty much the most important thing you need to know. So let's go to.
You taught me that actually.
Yep, that's
a couple years ago when I was working on one of my albums.
Damn, that was a couple years ago?
Probably about 1.5 years, 2 years ago.
That's wild. So I'm gonna slap a L2 limiter on the mix bus. So all the tracks are coming through the mix bus. So I'm gonna slap a limiter on here. Usually I don't go all the way to the ceiling, so I'll put that down a little bit.
Turn my losses into lessons, now my pockets breathe. Came from nothing but a vision, you can't block belief. I got fire in my soul.
Like,
and then
at that point,
this meter to tell where
how
it's
loud
at,
it is,
so you know where you want to set the threshold at.
Exactly. And you could go more, but you also got to use your ear, because if I were to go more, Yeah, it would be louder, but then I'd be
Causing distortion.
like compressing too much on the beat.
Right.
Like the beat wouldn't be hitting as hard as it could be, basically. If you click this right here, this allows you to bring down both the threshold and the output at the same time. The reason why doing this is important is because then you can hear what this limiter is doing. So if I bring it down like crazy, it doesn't change the level, but it allows you to hear what's happening. So right now it's compressing a lot. Right?
Right.
So you want to bring it
here
you want to bring it to a level where the beat starts to feel a little bit more natural. You know,
all I can hear really.
Yeah, somewhere here. And then mixing wise, I generally shoot for like anywhere between -13 to like -10 for the loudness.
For the mix.
Yeah, when I'm mixing. Because once you master it, that's when that is gonna bring whatever.
Bring everything else up.
It's gonna bring that up to like at least around -7, -8. You know what I mean? Generally, it could stay around -10, but generally it's gonna go up to like -7, -8 in mastering. So we already got a good loudness. So that's like step one. So first thing, I would just focus on the main lead vocal right now.
Dodging punches from the world, still I'm popping weed. Turn my losses into lessons, now my pockets breathe. Came from nothing but a vision, you can't block belief. I got fire in my soul, I don't rock.
All right, so what would you do first, compress or EQ?
Compress.
Why?
Because you wouldn't want the compressors to mess with the EQ. It would, because the compression, it would do certain things to the EQ. Like if you're trying to EQ certain levels, it would smash those levels that you're EQing together.
True.
The EQ would stand out more after the compressor.
True. So what kind of compressor would you use? You got a bunch of different kinds of compressors. Which one would you use for this type of vocal?
Me, I usually use a Renaissance, a basic with 10:1 ratio.
The Renaissance, what? Which one?
It's a Renaissance AX.
Oh, that? You usually use that for your vocal? That's cool.
Just for the start. For a start.
So I'm gonna show you, cause I don't even know when the last time you actually really.
Cause I use 2 compressors. I use that for a start, and then after that I use Pro C2.
Pro C2 is sick. So let me show you just a few of the like OG compressors and why you would want to use certain ones. I would say the main 3 OG compressors that you should know. That
CLA.
Yeah, so you got the LA2A right here, and then you got the 1176. So it's right here, LA76, and then you also have an SSL. You familiar with any of those?
You said I know the 76 and the 2A, but you said
SSL.
Oh, SSL. Okay, that's basically like almost like one of those, but that's the EQ.
This is an SSL
EQ.
This is an SSL clone right here, so they can see what's happening. That's an SSL EQ clone. But yeah, SSL. So stylistically, the differences between the two is the LA2A is an opto compressor. So it's very smooth. Here, I'll pull it up. Is this? You've seen this before. Mm-hmm. So this compressor is like, you can't adjust. Notice you can't adjust attack and release.
Much, yeah.
So if you want a super rhythmic vocal, this isn't the thing for that. Excuse me. Because you can't adjust the attack and release.
All right.
Let me just give you an example. So like this is a hip hop vocal. You're rapping, of course.
Pockets breathe.
But if we compress this with this, listen to how this would sound.
Pockets breathe. Came from nothing but a vision, you can't block belief. I got fire in my soul, I don't rock with grief. I done seen too many.
All right, so that is the sound of like doing the LA2A route. So let's do a 76 now. So a 76.
You can adjust the attack and release.
Yeah, this one you can adjust the attack release. You can also adjust the ratio. You know what ratio is?
Not all the way. I'm kind of familiar with it, a little bit.
So the ratio is essentially it's like how much you want to compress. So once your vocal gets above a certain threshold, the ratio, like a greater ratio, is gonna compress your vocal more than a lower ratio.
Okay.
So 4 just means for every, it means 4 to 1. This is 8 to 1, 12 to 1, 20 to 1. It's a ratio. So that just means for every 1 dB of like vocal that's coming through is going to compress that by 4. For every 1 dB coming, it's going to compress that by 8 if I were to do an 8x1. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So if you want a more natural sounding vocal, generally you're going to want a lower ratio.
Around the 4.1, right?
Yeah. But you can go all the way up to 20-1, which is basically limiting it. So you can do a lot with this. But let's listen to...
What does the all do?
The all literally puts all of these in. It's a... I think I got a whole shift? No. It just puts... So all just means it
All of them at once.
yeah, all of them at once. It becomes like a crazy... It's actually a cool setting. It's like almost a limiter at that point. It just squashes your sound, which you really wouldn't want that for a vocal. But let's compare the differences. So here's with the 76.
I can breathe, came from nothing but a vision. You can't. I can breathe, came from nothing but a vision. You can't block belief. I got.
So the cool thing is we're getting about the same amount of gain reduction as the LA2A, but we gotta adjust the attack and release now. So
I can breathe, came from nothing but a.
that's a slow release. See how slow that needle's coming back?
I can breathe, came from nothing
So if we
but
want
a
more of a
vision. You
rhythmic
can't block
vocal,
belief. I
gotta
got
get
fire
that
in
fast
my
to
soul. I don't
release.
rock with grief. I done seen too many fall for they find their feet.
You feel that difference?
Right.
And then here goes a slow attack.
I can breathe.
Or here goes a fast attack.
The
my bad.
attack
I
is how
can
fast
breathe,
it goes
came
that
from
way.
nothing.
Yeah, the attack is how quickly
To the
it
left.
engages. So if you want like your vocal to feel super rhythmic and bouncy like a rap vocal, that's how I generally like to have them sound. You want a little bit of a slower attack. You don't want the compressor to be just clamping on your vocal right away.
Right.
You want it to come through a little bit. So here's all the way to the fastest attack possible.
I can breathe, came from nothing but a vision. You
slower
can't
attack.
block belief. I got fire in my soul. I don't rock with grief. I done seen too many fall
I hear
for
how
they
it's more on
find
the
their
end.
feet.
It's more on the
what I'm
end of the vocal, it feels.
So now let's compare the two. So here's the sound of the LA2A on the rap vocal.
From nothing but a vision, you can't block belief. I got fire in my soul. I don't rock with
Yeah.
grief.
The
I done
other
seen
one is, the other
So-
one is better. The 76 is better for sure.
The LA2A, a lot of people also consider like a leveling compressor. Do you see how it feels like it just like
Level, it keeps everything flat down the
it
board.
just kind of
level up.
like flattened your vocal a little bit. In this instance, like I would say a little bit too much, but that's kind of the sound.
From nothing but a vision, you can't block
everything
belief.
just feels-
I got fire in
It's
my
at the
soul.
same-
I don't
everything
rock
is-
with
it's
grief.
going down a
I done
straight
seen
line.
Too many fall for they.
Versus here's the 76.
From nothing but a vision, you can't block belief. I got fire in my soul. I don't rock with grief. I didn't.
Especially
more
the fire on my soul.
aggressive.
They don't rock with grief.
Yeah. More energetic. All right, so and then there's one other compressor you definitely should know about.
You said the SSL.
The SSL. So let's just go to like an SSL channel. These are like the top 3, as I said, most widely known, I would say, compressors. And I'm probably forgetting about 1 or 2, but I would say these are probably the top 3. So you should be familiar with these sounds. So right here, this is the SSL channel. Right here, this is where it says dynamics right here. This is the compression section. The cool thing about the SSL is you don't gotta worry about attack. You only have ratio, threshold, release.
Right.
And when you compress it, automatically like gains it for you, so that like when you compress the vocal, it stays at the same level.
Okay.
So you don't have to, because like on the 76, for example, you had to set this output back.
Right.
Because you just, the
Because when you
compression-
change the input, the output changes also.
Yeah.
So it's SSL, it keeps the output at the same
Yes.
where it started off at.
Exactly.
Okay.
So listen to the difference in this one now. She came back with more goodies.
Nah.
You only got 3. How many y'all can get?
1.
All right. So let's compress to the SSL, see the difference.
From nothing but a vision, you can't block belief. I got fire in my soul. I don't rock with grief. I didn't.
So we got some compression going because we can see the meters right here.
From nothing but a vision.
Doing gain reduction.
From nothing but a vision, you can't block belief.
Now you can play with the release to get it more rhythmic. So if you want more of a rhythmic vocal, I get a tighter, quicker release.
From nothing but
This
a
is
vision,
slower.
you can't block belief. I got fire in my
it's tighter.
soul. I don't rock with grief. I done seen too many fall for they find their feet. So I stand for something.
And then you can bypass the compressor using this button right here.
From nothing but a
As
vision,
before?
you can't block belief. I got fire in my soul, I don't rock with grief. I done seen too many fall.
All right, so let's compare the three. So here's the two-way.
From nothing but a vision, you can't block belief. I got fire in my soul, I don't rock with grief. I done seen too many fall for they find their feet.
Not bad by any means. Here goes the 76.
From nothing but a vision, you can't block belief. I got fire in my soul, I don't rock with
like
grief.
that one
I done
brings a
seen
level
too
up
many
more
fall
in
for
it.
they find their feet.
That one's aggressive. You know, that's why a lot of people like this one. And then the SSL.
From nothing but a vision, you can't block belief. I got fire in my soul, I don't rock with grief.
This one more
I done seen
smoother.
too many fall for they find their feet. So I stand for
So yeah, like the two-way, the two-way, it flattens and it keeps it like at the same. It sounds like it's just like as if you're just driving down a straight road. The 76, like you said, it gives it more of a like a powerful aggression.
yeah.
And then yeah, the SSL, it just sounds, it's smooth. It sounds very smooth.
It's clean.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say, so depending on the song, like you're gonna wanna choose one of those, right? So for example, Dre, he has an SSL channel. He's always running, he also has like a 76 and whatever, these things, but he's running majority of all his tracks are running through his SSL console. So he always is getting at least some of this flavor. But depending on the track, like I think this, you know, the 76 suits your voice in this kind of flow
This
really
kind of
well.
flow and energy.
So I would say a lot of hip hop. I would say the most versatile compressor out of all of these is probably the 76. You just gotta know how to set it. But yeah, this is a little bit more clean, hip hop, pop world. You can do R&B. You can do honestly anything with this, but it's a little bit more clean. This is a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more forward sounding. And then the LA2A is smooth and just good to like level something. Like if you just want the vocal to just be even sounding, you know, not like super aggressive at moments or whatever. You just want the vocal to sound smooth and even. Like I feel like this is that kind of compressor that you would want to use. So you were talking about you use the Axe. Let me throw the Axe on here just to show you a comparison. And I use the Axe too. Let me bring both these together. You know you can hold shift and bring both those together.
Oh,
Did you realize that?
I usually do them separately.
from nothing but
You can do, so I like to do this because then it allows you to hear what the plugin is actually doing versus it just getting louder, you know what I'm saying?
from nothing but a vision, you can't block belief. I got fire in my soul, I don't rock with grief. I done seen too many fall.
So let's compare. 2A.
Came from nothing but a vision, you can't block belief.
76
Came from nothing but a vision, you can't block belief.
vibes. SSL
Came from nothing but a vision, you can't block belief. I got
and the Axe.
came from nothing but a vision, you can't block belief.
So the one thing about the Axe that I would say is it's the one out of the three that I feel like doesn't have as much of a character. Did you hear that? Like it just feels kind of just like
Yeah.
plain.
It's like the 2LA, but the 2LA at least that gives it a little feel to it.
You say it's the what?
It's like, that's a 2LA. It's like the 2A, but it gives it a little more, the 2A has more feel to it.
Yeah, a little bit more mojo. So that's why I wanted to show you these main three compressors is because these are good to know. These are the main go-to three that you're gonna see anywhere that people mix with and whatever. But if you're using the Axe, like there's no, honestly, I don't really know what they modeled this plugin after, but these are actual like units that you can buy, like real hardware pieces.
Like these.
Yeah. Whereas this is, I'm not even sure. I'm not exactly sure what they modeled this off of, but it's not.
Digital.
It's not a hardware unit. It's not something that's been around for forever and ever. Put it that way. So these have a certain character that you should really get used to. So let's move forward. We'll just use the 76 because I think that suits your voice the best in this track.
I jump punches from the world, still I pop and weed. Turn my losses into lessons, now my pockets breathe. Came from nothing but a vision, you can't block belief. I got fire in my soul, I don't rock with grief. I didn't seem to.
All right, what's the next thing you would do? I hear something immediately right now.
EQ. EQ.
You could EQ. I would say at this point I would de-ess, just because I like to, when I'm working with vocals, I like to tame before I start
adjusting,
shaping the tone and things like that.
Right.
Like if I like to control first. So we just control dynamics with the compressor, but now listen to the S's and basically the S's.
I jump punches from the world, still I pop and weave. Turn my losses into lessons, now my pockets breathe. Came from nothing but a vision, you can't block belief. I got fire in my soul, I don't rock with grief. I done seen too many fall for they find.
You know what I'm saying? I done seen.
Setback. It's deep, like Nib said, it's a my speed. Put my find they feet, so I stand for something real.
My syllables are.
Put my life in these lines, let the crowd repeat. Every bar
Let me find that part.
every setback, got a setup now.
That's one right there.
So literally, this is what you can do whenever you're mixing your track, is just find like a moment like this where like the S's go crazy. You don't need to. I think the easiest way to do this is find a moment like this.
Every setback, got a setup.
Right?
Every setback, got a setup.
And it's already on loop, which is great. So now, boom, add a de-esser. Just need a basic de-esser. Next, go to sidechain so you can hear the frequency. So you just we wanna start all the way low and slowly bring it up until we only hear the S. If we're hearing the tone of the voice,
then it's too much.
Yeah, that's too much. We don't want to be like compressing the tone of your voice. We only want to be compressing the S's.
So that right there is basically too much.
Right there. That's all S. Your voice, you actually have a very low S. What I mean by that is like, all right, you see this number right here? 62, 6,212. Majority of the times when I'm de-essing people's vocals, I think it's around 8,000 and up. Yours starts at 6,000, which is crazy. It's not super crazy. It's not like
it's just weird.
But
it's different.
Your S's are strong, so they just start a little bit lower.
Because usually when I'm in my, because I use Pro Q3 for the EQ, usually I'm dropping between like the 5,900 to 6,000 range.
Yeah,
usually.
that's where your
where my S's.
Yeah, that's where that's coming through. So now you can see how strong that is. So now we'll take it off sidechain. Sidechain right here just means we're listening to
the actual
what the plugin is
audio.
listening to. This is with everything in. So now we just want to, bring down the threshold until your voice starts to sound more natural.
Every setback, got a setup. Every setback, got a setup. Every setback, got a setup. Every setback.
A little bit better.
Every setback, got a setup.
It's still a little strong.
A little strong.
Every setback, got a setup. Every setback, got a setup. Every setback, got a setup.
A little bit better. The key is you gotta do this while listening to the track as well, because sometimes some beats have like a lot of high end, so you actually need to
keep some of the S's.
Keep more of the S in there for it to cut through.
Right.
Like if we're just isolating your vocal right now,
Every setback, got a set.
that seems natural, right? But with the beat in,
It's deep, like Nib said, it's a marathon, not a cheat code. Every setback, got a setup.
it's actually not that bad. Right. So for this beat, it's cool actually.
It's deep, like Nib said, it's a marathon, not a cheat code. Every setback, got a setup.
That goes crazy.
Send it to me.
Hold on. YouTube, look at the fit.
Look at him.
Look at the fit.
What's going on, man?
Look at the watch.
Oh, hold on.
This is a little glitch for the Twitch, you feel me?
Hey,
Bro, you know,
crazy.
Watch.
That's Yeezy 2.0 right there, bro.
Oh my God, what happened to version?
What you calling the drip?
man, nonchalant.
Nonchalant.
I got some pants like
That is diabolical.
Literally.
Yeah. I like this.
Yeah,
I got some pants.
this was killing them. That's the main part that's killing them. They trying to figure the outfit out with this one. You feel me?
Yeah.
Hey, I hope you guys have been finding this video helpful and useful. I have a free resource, link in description below. It's called 6 Mix Finalizers. It's a mini course that I've designed to help producers, artists, upcoming engineers just like yourself finish your mixes faster. And I really wish someone would have shared this resource with me in the beginning of my mixing journey. So if you want to go check that out, link is in the description below. let's get back to the video. All right, I know the next thing that we gotta do. EQ.
I was a step too early.
I mean,
I said EQ, it was de-essing, now it's EQ.
no, I mean, like, honestly, there really isn't, like,
Too much.
you have to, but the heck?
He watching his son.
But I would recommend at this point,
Look like you?
especially when you're like recording in that booth over there, it's not gonna sound as natural because you're in a tight space, and then we're compressing that sound.
Right.
So you're making the unnaturalness of your voice come out a little bit more. So now we just gotta reduce the energy in those areas. So let me show you what I'm talking about. You know what resonant frequencies are?
Bring it.
Resonant frequencies are areas in your vocal that have more energy, like an abnormal amount of energy. So if I take a tight cue like this, and you see where this says 9, that means I'm boosting 9 dB, right?
All right.
If I sweep across here, but I notice there's a moment where your vocal is like really, like it's either harsher or just like there's more energy there, then that's an area that you need to dip EQ right. So let me show you what I'm talking about.
Dodging punches from the world, still I bob and weave. Turn my losses into lessons, now my pockets breathe. Came from nothing but a...
Like, we didn't notice anything until right there.
Dodging punches from the world, still I bob and weave. Turn my losses into lessons, now my pockets...
All right,
You hear that? So that could be a area we can reduce a little bit.
Dodging punches from the world, still I bob and weave.
Let's do another one. This is a way for you to keep the natural tone of your voice. So yeah, let's find another area of your voice we gotta tame.
Dodging punches from the world.
All right, let me know when you hear another spot, okay?
Dodging punches from the world, still I bob and weave. Turn my losses into lessons, now my pockets breathe. Came from nothing but a vision, you can't block belief. I got fire in my soul, I don't rock with grief. I done seen too many fall for they find their feet. So I stand for something real every time I speak. Put my life in these lines, let the crowd repeat. Every bar a revolution, this ain't mild, this deep. Like Nip said, it's a marathon, not a cheat code. Every setback, got a setup, now I reload. South Central roots, but I'm global with the G code. Ali with the angles when I strike, it's beast mode. Float no trauma.
So right now we're locating the what I call the room tone. So when you rap in like a small room, you're activating that room. Like, how's the best way to explain this? When you put speakers on a table, the table vibrates, right?
Right. So it's like
activating the table.
The room, like, words are vibrations.
Yes.
Words are vibrations. So when you're rapping in a small room, it's like you're vibrating.
You're vibrating
the
the room.
walls around you.
So that's why I always bring the mic in the bigger room, because when you're in the bigger room,
It's less vibration.
Yeah, it's harder for you to activate that room and for you to get a sound coming. So there's an actual sound that's being recorded into that microphone because coming from the room, because you're in that small booth.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you literally singing into the wall is vibrating the wall, which then is sending a certain sound into the microphone that usually is like unpleasant for most.
I understand it too, because it's like, I'm thinking of a vinyl record and how the grooves would be and how it's because it's literally just the vibrations. Like, now it might be my voice, but on the other side of this, it might sound muffled or whatnot, but it's still that same, you still hear it's my voice because of the vibrations. Basically like a vinyl record or a CD player or something.
Yeah, I mean, your voice is in that tiny booth. You're rapping loud, actually. So then the sound waves from your voice are hitting the wall, activating the wall, vibrating the walls of that little teeny room. That's creating a tone.
Right.
That tone is also being captured by the microphone. So we don't want that tone though. We just want to hear
deck that tone
majority of the natural sound of your voice. Right. So that's what we're locating right now, is that tone.
Dodging punches from the world, still I...
You can exaggerate this to hear it more.
Dodging punches from the world, still I bob and weave. Turn my losses...
Hear that?
Dodging punches from the world, still I bob and weave.
Yeah.
Turn my losses into lessons, now my pockets breathe. Came from nothing but a vision, you can't block...
right there.
If you solo this, you can hear it more clear. That sound is literally the walls of that little booth vibrating, and in the microphone capturing a bit of that.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's crazy. So you don't the point is you don't want to take all of it out because some of it is coming from your natural voice.
Right.
But a good majority of that is
from the wall.
room. So you want to decrease some of that energy there. So we just reduce.
Dodging punches from the world, still I bob and weave. Turn my losses into lessons, now my pockets breathe.
So that helps. I think there's still one more area.
Dodging punches from the...
Trying to find it.
Dodging punches.
This becomes like a video game when you really dive into this kind of stuff.
Dodging punches from the world, still I bob and weave. Turn my losses into lessons, now my pockets breathe. Came from nothing but a vision, you can't block belief. I got fire in my soul, I don't rock with grief. I done seen too many fall for they find their feet. So I stand for something real every time I speak. Put my life in these lines, let the crowd repeat. Every bar a revolution, this ain't mild, this deep.
Honestly, I think it might be one of these that are like super close to 29.
Dodging punches from the...
Yeah.
Losses. Dodging punches from the world, still I bob and weave. Turn my losses into lessons, now my pockets breathe. Came from nothing but a vision, you
hear that one?
I hear it now.
So I just needed to boost it enough to be able to hear it. So there it is.
Dodging punches, bobbing.
So that.
Dodging punches.
So obviously when I bring it back down, you don't hear it as much, right?
Dodging punches from the...
Don't really hear it as much, but it's more of this is like a feeling thing. The more you get better at EQ, you're gonna start to feel these differences.
Dodging punches from the world, still I bob and weave. Turn my losses into lessons, now my pockets
This is
breathe.
something I have to like train my ear for.
Yeah, this is training. So here goes before.
Dodging punches from the world, still I bob and weave. Turn my losses into lessons, now my pockets breathe.
Now we should hear less of the room.
Dodging punches from the world, still I bob and weave. Turn my losses into lessons, now my pockets breathe. Came from...
You hear how that just sounds more like your natural voice and not so much of the room?
That's crazy, and that's so like.
You noticed that, right?
Yeah, and that's so little. Like
It's just a couple little moments. That
3 points, small points.
Yeah. This is actually not even, this is 1 dB right here.
Yeah, I was gonna say none of them went over 2.
Yeah. This is on 1.5. Here, let's do it again.
Dodging punches from the world, still I bob and weave. Turn my losses into lessons, now my pockets breathe.
Like when I listen to that, I can feel and know that you're definitely in that room. Now put this EQ in.
Dodging punches from the world, still I bob and weave. Turn my losses into lessons, now my pockets breathe.
More
It
live.
feels like you're more close to the mic.
More live.
Yeah, you less of that room sound. So that's why this is important. So one thing to take notice of, we haven't even sweetened your vocal at all yet.
Right.
This is just
Small
fixing
adjustment.
and controlling the sonics of your vocal right now. But we haven't even like shaped the tone and just kind of sweetened up the voice at all yet. So this is pretty good. I think the only other thing EQ wise is there's a little bit too much low energy in your voice still.
Dodging punches from the world, still I bob and weave. Turn my losses into lessons, now
Around the 200.
Yeah, some of this.
dodging punches from the world, still I bob and weave. Turn my losses
Just some of that, so we could tame some of that down a little bit.
Dodging punches from the world,
And now
still I
you use
bob.
a shelf,
For this,
or you still use a bell?
because here, check this out.
Dodging punches from the
You
world.
see how all of these, I think either on the mic itself or on the preamp.
It has a low cut.
Yeah,
It's on the mic.
Oh, it's on the mic. So you notice all of these are
Dodging
low.
punches from the...
So for that reason, I don't need to
Shelf it.
yeah, I
You just
don't
gotta
need
adjust it. Okay.
Yeah, just this area right here. Just that area is like.
Dodging punches from the world, still I bob and weave. Turn my losses into lessons, now my pockets breathe.
You got coffee too?
Nah, cold water.
Cold
Got
water?
hot.
Oh, you're just getting hot? Mm-hmm. It's actually smart. All right, so next thing, I'm just gonna add a little bit of reverb. Pretty simple. Especially for hip hop vocals, you just want to add enough so that you feel.
Feel a little bit of it, but not too much.
Exactly. Just add a little teeny bit. Super simple.
Dodging punches from the world, still I bob and weave. Turn my losses into lessons, now my pockets breathe. Came from nothing but a vision, you can't block belief.
You just do it different than me.
Something like that.
Usually I turn it up all the way and bring it down
Oh, okay, I see.
till I can't really till I notice it, but can't really notice it too much.
Either way it works.
You get what I'm saying?
Either way it works. As long as you get to the same
To the same
area.
to the same endpoint.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just.
Dodging punches from the world, still I bob and weave. Turn my losses into lessons, now my pockets breathe. Came from nothing but a vision, you can't block belief. I got fire in my soul, I don't rock with grief. I done seen too many fall for they find it.
All right, so now.
Yeah, okay.
Now-
Because I hear it more when you stop it too. I hear the reverb track.
It's more of a feel thing. Like if you're hearing if you're hearing the reverb like super clearly,
Then it's too much.
it's too much. You want to be. It's more of like you just want enough to feel it. Because if I were to take it away, you would definitely feel the difference.
Dodging punches from the world, still I bop and weave. Turn my losses into lessons, now my pockets breathe.
Right in your face, too strong.
The reverb gives me like it feels like I'm more into
Too
it.
many fall for they find their feet. So I stand for something real every time I speak. Put my
It just feels like it's a part of the song now, you know? So let's sweeten your voice. So now we're gonna be shaping a tone. What do you think we could do to the tone of your voice?
I feel like boost. We can boost some of the what range is that I'm thinking of. It's like around between like 1,000 and 25.
1,000? Okay, so that's your mid range.
So yeah, mid highs, not mid highs, but about around the mids.
Yeah, mid highs. So I'm gonna show you another EQ that you definitely should know. It's another OG EQ. This is the Pultec. You familiar with the Pultec EQ? You've seen this one before.
Yeah, I'm seeing it, but I've never used it.
So you got this one, and you also got you got all of these are Pultec EQs. This is the most famous one in terms of the style, where you have a low boost attenuation and a high boost and attenuation. The reason why this EQ is great and a lot of people love it is because it's very smooth. So you can boost high end, boost clarity, get the tone of your voice where it should be, and it's not harsh at all.
It's not harsh on the ears.
Exactly.
Okay.
Like it's very musical sounding.
dodging punches from the world, still I bop and weave. Turn my loss.
All right, we don't want to do that much. But
Dodging punches from the world, still I bop and weave. Turn my losses into lessons, now my pockets breathe. Came from nothing but a vision, you can't block belief. I got fire in my soul, I don't rock with grief. I done seen too many fall for they find their feet. So I stand for something.
you see that clarity that just came, and it's still smooth.
Dodging punches from the world, still I bop and weave. Turn my losses into lessons, now my
Right at the AK is a little hard, so we don't want to mess with AK too much.
dodging punches from the world, still I bop and weave. Turn my
1K is a little harsh.
dodging punches from the world, still I bop and weave. Turn my losses into
Like 12.
dodging punches from the world, still I bop and weave. Turn my losses in
You know what I'm saying? Bypass.
dodging punches from the world, still I bop and weave. Turn my losses into lessons, now my
It
pockets.
sounds more bright.
Yeah. So now, listen to this.
Dodging punches from the world, still I bop and weave. Turn my losses into lessons, now my pockets breathe. Came from nothing but a vision, you can't block belief. I got fire in my soul, I don't rock with grief. I done seen too many fall for they find their feet. So I stand for something real every time I speak. Put my life in these lines, let the crowd repeat. Every bar a revolution, this ain't mild, this deep.
It stands out over the beat way more. It cuts through. It's sharper.
Yeah, listen to before after one more time.
Dodging punches from the world, still I bop and weave. Turn my losses into lessons, now my pockets breathe. Came from nothing but a vision, you can't block belief. I got fire in my soul, I don't rock with.
So notice with this type of EQ, it's like you feel the forwardness and the brightness. It's not so much that you hear it, it's more like we feel it.
Right.
And I feel like that's more important because you want to feel like your voice, especially rapping and you spitting them bars, like you want to feel like that thing is right in front of your face, right? But a lot of times people try to achieve that just by like using like a Pro Q and boosting the high end, but you're not. It's not gonna be as musical. It's gonna be harsh. Like let me show you. If we're gonna use just a regular EQ, right, and do the same thing, listen.
Dodging punches from the world, still I bop and weave. Turn my losses into lessons, now my pockets breathe. Came from nothing but a vision, you can't block belief. I got fire in my soul, I don't rock with grief. I done seen.
So I would put it somewhere right around there, but you see, it kind of gets a little harsh.
It's a little bit of the same, but I can feel the the teeth on my ear a little more.
So listen.
But it's close to the same though.
Dodging punches from the world, still I bop and weave. Turn my losses into lessons, now my pockets breathe. Came from nothing but a vision, you can't block belief. I got fire.
You see how we have that clarity, but it's not harsh. We got the clarity, but it's not harsh.
Dodging punches from the world, still I bop and weave. Turn my losses into lessons, now.
You know what I'm saying? Versus this.
Dodging punches from the world, still I bop and weave.
Especially the S's. We de-essed it and now it feels like the S's came back.
Yeah, like you could use a regular, stock EQ like this one and boost it, and yeah, it's gonna be more clear, but it's also
I feel like some
could be a lot harsh.
I feel like some of the de-essing then kind of got brought back.
Yeah, now see that's the reason why it's so important to know these differences in between these different plugins, because now I don't gotta go back. If I use the Pultec, I'm getting the brightness I need, and I don't gotta go back and mess with the de-esser.
Right.
But if I'm using this one, now I'm getting the brightness that I need, but then I gotta go back and adjust this, and like it's a balance.
It's more to the process. It gives you more for the process. Yeah.
It's more work. You see what I'm saying?
Work smarter, not harder.
Exactly. So, and the key is just knowing the difference between your plugins.
Dodging punches from the world.
So I showed you the OG compressors. I just showed you one of the OG EQs that you definitely should know the sound of, because it has a sound. Your vocal has reverb. So in terms of the lead vocal, I would say majority of that is, I would leave that for now and start to mix in some of the backgrounds. Just like
that's the hook, but that's also it's just a lead also.
For my name, like
Hey, I hope you guys have been finding this video helpful and useful. I have a free resource, link in description below. It's called 6 Mix Finalizers. It's a mini course that I've designed to help producers, artists, upcoming engineers just like yourself finish your mixes faster. And I really wish someone would have shared this resource with me in the beginning of my mixing journey. So if you want to go check that out, link is in description below. Let's get back to the video. All right, so what you can usually do, especially for a song like this, like you could just copy this.
Copy the same.
Because this is
still the lead vocal.
Yeah, it's still the lead. So this is still a chain that we set for your voice in this song for a lead vocal. So whether it's a verse or a chorus, they're still lead vocals.
Now we just gotta adjust volume on that basically.
I've been fighting for my name like I'm Cassius Clay. All these rounds in the ring, I don't duck no fade. I just hustle through the hits, let the legacy stay. Yelling, long live the bread, long live the slang. Put respect on my stance.
Let's see how it flows from the verse into it.
Fighting for my people till they open the doors. Follow like a dream, sting like the pain. I've been fighting for my name like I'm Cassius Clay. All these rounds in the ring, I don't duck no fade. I just hustle.
So since this is the chorus too, one thing I would do is make this, give it some stereo effect.
More roomy.
So check this out. This is one thing I like doing.
Is that the right word? More roomy?
Kinda.
He said different vocabulary.
I know what you were trying to say.
Different vocabulary, but I get it.
Yeah, no, I definitely get it. You seen this plugin before, right?
Yeah, CLA.
So this is like one of my favorite uses of this plugin. I'm turning all these things off because we don't need them. But you see right here it says pitch. We can do stereo, wide, spreader. I like to do, all three of these are great, but I'm gonna start with wide. Check this out.
A dream, sting like the pain. I've been fighting for my name like.
Hear that difference?
A dream, sting like the pain. I've been fighting for my name like I'm Cassius Clay.
So it basically has a doubler to your voice, and it puts it in the back of the lead vocal so that it feels kind of stereo. And you can obviously mix in a lot of.
A dream.
You don't want a lot.
A dream, sting like the pain. I've been fighting for my name like I'm Cassius Clay. All these rounds.
Usually I just mix it enough to feel the effect. So check that out. I just put it right there.
And I'm fighting for my people till they open the doors. Follow like a dream, sting like the pain. I've been fighting for my name like I'm Cassius Clay. All these rounds in the ring, I don't duck no fade. I just hustle.
You know what I mean? It's just like an idea.
It just gives you a little bit.
Yeah, to give you, like, it allows you to separate the chords
from
sonically.
the lead. Yeah. So it does, because you don't want the verse to sound just like the hook, because that makes the song kind of boring.
Exactly. So this gives that chorus section just a little bit more energy.
Yes, I'm a soldier of war, and I'm fighting for my people till they open the doors. Follow like a dream, sting like the pain. I've been fighting for my name like I'm Cassius Clay.
You know what I mean? All right, so yeah, another thing you could do to separate the chorus vocal from the lead is add a little bit of delay. So right here we got the delay knob. So you got slap. You know what a slap is? You ever been in like a?
You ever been slapped? Yeah.
Bro, I literally should have set it up like that.
You almost set it up like that.
That's what it is. That's what it's supposed to be. So like when you're in a maybe like not a tunnel, like when you're in a very like echoey room, you say something and it just like slaps right back at you.
Okay.
Like it's like really quick. If you get what I'm saying.
I get it.
And then you know what an eighth and a quarter are? Eighth note delay, quarter note.
Oh yeah. Eighth note, quarter note. So
eighth note's a little bit faster, quarter note's a little bit slower.
Right. It's how fast the delay comes. Yo.
Yeah,
but
it syncs to the tempo. Right now we don't even have the tempo set, so I'm gonna just use the slap.
Okay.
But check this out.
Everything's all together, so when we set it, it should stay together.
Yeah.
Flow like a dream, sting like the pain. I've been fighting for my name like I'm Cassius Clay.
Down a little bit.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'm just showing you the sound. You know what I mean? So you can mix in a little bit of this to separate that verse from that chorus a little bit. So let's check it out.
For my people till they open the doors. Flow like a dream, sting like the pain. I've been fighting for my name like I'm Cassius Clay. All these rounds in the ring, I don't duck no fade. I just hustle through the hits, let the legacy stay.
And we do got reverb on here. We could try eighth note. Remember our tempo isn't set up, but let's just hear our sound.
For my people till they open the doors. Flow like a dream, sting like the pain. I've been fighting for my name like I'm Cassius Clay.
I think an eighth.
Yeah.
You like the eighth better?
Yeah. I like the slap a little better than the eighth.
Let's rock with the slap.
For my people till they open the doors. Flow like a dream, sting like the pain. I've been fighting for my name like I'm Cassius Clay. All these rounds in the ring, I don't duck no fade. I just hustle through the hits, let the legacy stay.
Yeah. Okay.
So I hear that in the
I done bled through metaphors. Got my city in my chest, I'm a soldier of war. And I'm fighting for my people till they open the doors. Flow like a dream, sting like the pain. I've been fighting for my name like I'm.
I wanna entertain you and just do this actually more dramatic.
My people till they open the doors. Flow like a dream, sting like the pain. I've been fighting for my name like I'm Cassius Clay. All these rounds in the ring, I don't duck no fade. I just hustle through the hits, let the legacy stay. Yelling long live the brave, long live the slain. Put respect on my stance, I'm from that clock, no stain. Keep the money in the film, keep the faith in play. I'm the greatest in the mirror, call me Cassius Clay. Undisputed and
You like that?
It's not too much, but it's little, it's slight. I like
it's cool. It just gives your that chorus vocal like a different feel from the verse.
I'm a soul.
Which is dope. Because the verse is a little bit more direct and then the chorus is like a little bit more energetic.
City in my chest, I'm a soldier of war. And I'm fighting for my people till they open the doors. Flow like a dream, sting like the pain. I've been fighting for my name like I'm Cassius Clay. All these rounds in the ring, I don't duck no fade. I just hustle through the hits, let the legacy stay. Yelling.
You know it'd be super sick on this too?
That's hard.
Yeah. You know it'd be oh shit.
Not that.
You know it'd be super sick on this though?
What?
Just to distort your voice like a teeny bit. Like good distortion. Let me show you what I mean. So like you ever use like Kramer tape?
Kramer tape.
Yeah, this is a tape machine. You ever use tape machines when you mix?
No.
Oh man, you definitely should. Like, crazy. This thing actually has a crazy slap delay.
Actually, I'm lying. I've only used it one time ever, only to get the it was the sound like you know how when the actual tape is playing, how it gives that scratchy sound.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, they kind of the effects.
I only did that for one song. It was a song called Therapy Session. So I wanted to make it sound like you was dropping the needle and playing the vinyl record.
Yeah, bro, you can mess with tape, man. Tape is crazy, but this thing.
So this kind of does that a little bit.
It has noise. Right here's the noise, so you're gonna hear the noise.
Okay, that's basically what that's.
Flow like a dream, sting like. Flow like a dream.
To go to the gym so I can get my stomach.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It just adds that little bit of analog flavor. I wasn't necessarily gonna go for that, but if you wanted to, you could.
No, we don't have to. I just said that's the only thing I've ever used tape for. Like I've only used it one time, and it was for that.
Well, automatically, bro. Just listen to the vocal difference with and without tape. So this is without tape.
Flow like a dream, sting like the pain. I've been fighting for my name like I'm Cassius Clay.
The way I could describe it is a little bit more sterile without, with.
Flow like a dream, sting like the pain. I've been fighting for my name like I'm Cassius
Once
Clay.
again, a little more roomy.
A little bit more warmer, a little bit more vibier. But this thing is cool, the flux. So this essentially distorts your vocal in a pleasing way, saturates your vocal in a pleasing way. So listen to this, like if I exaggerate this, check Check it out.
Flow like a dream, sting like the pain. I've been fighting for my name like
That's
I'm
that
Cassius
Kanye West
Clay.
shit. That's that Kanye West right there.
You know what I'm saying?
Runaway on the ending. That's
So you can play with this effect. You know what I mean?
Flow like a
I just like the saturation in the Kramer tape.
that's dope. I did not know that's hard.
Come on, bro.
Take West.
So I just thought it would sound sick because at this point in the chorus, it sounds like you're like really like spitting, like you know your energy's way up there. So like when your energy increases, it's cool to hear a little bit of that distortion because it makes you feel like, oh shit, like
Yeah, the hook is supposed to be
Strong.
the hook is supposed to be like that. The words
Yeah.
you repeat before you go into a boxing match type of
so.
deal.
Check
like,
this out. Check this out.
flow like a dream, sting.
So instead of this,
Flow like a dream,
let's get this.
flow like a dream, sting like the pain. I've been fighting for my name like I'm Cassius Clay. All these rounds in the ring, I don't duck no fade. I
with
just
the beat.
hustle through the hits, let the legacy stay.
You see how much more aggressive it just made that?
Play with the beat.
Oh, you excited now?
I want to hear that.
All right, here's before.
Got my city in my chest, I'm a soldier of war. And I'm fighting for my people till they open the doors. Flow like a dream, sting like the pain. I've been fighting for my name like I'm Cassius Clay.
Nothing wrong with it, but it's just clean, right? And then with this in.
Got my city in my chest, I'm a soldier of war. And I'm fighting for my people till they open the doors. Flow like a dream, sting like the pain. I've been fighting for my name like I'm Cassius. Got my
But I was rocking.
flow like a dream, sting like the pain. I've been fighting for my name like I'm Cassius Clay. All these rounds in the ring, I don't duck no fade. I just hustle through the hits, let the legacy stay. Yelling long live the brave. Long
Just the
Yeah, level. The saturation or the level?
the
Saturation.
doors. Flow like a dream, sting like the pain. I've been fighting for my name like I'm Cassius Clay. All these rounds in the ring, I don't duck no fade. I just hustle through the hits, let the legacy stay. Yelling long live the brave, long live the slain. Put respect on my stance, I'm from that cloth, no stain. Keep the money in the film, keep the faith in play. I'm the greatest in the mirror, call me Cassius Clay. Undisputed, undefeated, in my mind first.
I like that.
You see how sick that sounds?
That was
like when you balance between the two. You know what I'm saying?
I never realized that
You don't want to use it all the time.
no,
But like for certain moments.
that's a different feel, and it reminds me strictly. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about on Runaway on the ending, on the end of Kanye West's Runaway,
Probably.
but that's exactly what that just reminds me of.
Yeah. Just for fun. Let's take everything off. Just to see y'all work.
See what we have
So,
first.
before.
In my chest, I'm a soldier of war. And I'm fighting for my people till they open the doors. Flow like a dream, sting like the pain. I've been fighting for my name like I'm Cassius Clay.
Nothing wrong with it.
But it's just dry as fuck.
Nothing wrong with it. Let's draw.
Tastes like a Popeye's biscuit.
Bro.
With
No,
no.
Popeye's biscuits, bro. You know who got the best biscuits?
Red Lobster?
You already know.
Come on.
I didn't even have to say nothing.
No, everybody knows that. We're black. We should know that.
Red Lobster, best biscuit.
Mic check 1 2 1 2. We good. Think we good. Am I getting volume on my microphone?
How's it sounding, bro?
Am I getting volume on my microphone? I think the song is sounding good so far.
Let's do the before after one more time. So before.
I like it.
Force. Got my city in my chest, I'm a soldier of war. And I'm fighting for my people till they open
like-
the doors. Flow like a dream, sting
You hear-
like the pain. I've been fighting for my
You hear
name
play?
like Cassius
You hear play? And I was looking for the feel of it with the plugin,
Force.
and it wasn't there.
Chest, I'm a soldier of war. And I'm fighting for my people till they
aggressive.
open the doors. Flow like a dream, sting like the pain. I've been fighting for my name like I'm Cassius Clay. All these rounds in the ring, I don't duck no fade.
That's
just
way better.
Crazy,
That's
bro.
way cleaner.
Hey, I hope you guys have been finding this video helpful and useful. I have a free resource, link in description below. It's called 6 Mix Finalizers. It's a mini course that I've designed to help producers, artists, upcoming engineers just like yourself finish your mixes faster. And I really wish someone would have shared this resource with me in the beginning of my mixing journey. So if you want to go check that out, link is in description below. Let's get back to the video. Now, I did the lead. How about you do the backgrounds?
So the backgrounds, I want to pan them.
You do the background. Well, yeah, we're going to pan, but you got to process them first.
I told you I'm trying to go
So
I want you to process it. So look, first things first. You have 4 background tracks, but you need
2,
to...
no 3. 1 is an ad lib.
Okay, my bad. So we need to create a bus. We just created or an aux track. We just created an aux, right?
And that's where we do our plugins at, basically.
Yeah. So here goes BVs. Let's call it BV vocals. The output. We want to make sure the output goes to our mix bus as well.
Where you don't want to talk
And then highlight all of these tracks. Hold shift option. You see on the output, we don't want that
to the actual
we want all the BVs. Yep. So here goes the, where is it at? BVs, boom. So now all of these blue tracks right here, let's color code these actually. So right here you can click, instead of blue, let's just do like something else. So we know that.
I usually do orange for backgrounds.
I'm gonna do orange. So then they're going to the BVs. So if we mute this, we're not gonna hear no BVs.
From the world, still I pop and weave.
Right? But if we put these in, another thing you do is group these, right? So Command G, group them. So that if I click solo,
Slip through. And now my pockets
so you see them coming through. Mute it. So first thing, I just want you to process these background vocals so that they blend in with the leads. But I don't want you to touch the leads at all. Okay. Volume-wise, plug-in-wise, the beat and the leads, you gotta leave. So now...
So I gotta adjust the backgrounds to the leads.
Now your goal is to mix the backgrounds to where the lead vocal and the beat are.
Deep, like Nib said, it's a marathon, not a cheat code. Every setback, got a setup, now I reload. South Central roots, but I'm global with the G code. Ali with the angles when I strike, it's beast.
Pause 1 second, I just wanna show you. Right now you're in group, so you're bringing down
all of them at once.
Yeah, so I don't know if you wanna do that. So let me take them off group.
I got fire in my soul, I don't rock with grief. I done seen too many fall for they find they feet. So I stand for something real every time I speak. Put my life in these lines, let the crowd repeat. Every bar a revolution, this ain't mild, this deep. Like Niv said, it's a marathon, not a cheat code. Every setback, got a setup, now I reload. South Central roots, but I'm global with the G code. Ali with the angles.
So the reason why you don't want your level all the way almost to the top, almost to the red, is because there's no headroom.
Right, I wasn't even looking
Once you put plugins on there, you may get some volume difference and you want space. Because you don't want to start putting on plugins and then
it starts clipping.
So basically, you see that little knob right here? On the bottom left corner, that's your clip gain. So you can bring that, or that's your trim. So you can bring that down and just bring down the waveform. You know, generally you can visually kind of make them match.
When I strike, it's
yeah, so I'm gonna use this top one for reference. So I wanna bring this.
It doesn't have to be, you don't gotta be super like anal with the visual of it. As long as it's not.
Nah, cause then now I know they're at least around the same level.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's beast mode, floating over trauma like I'm made for more. They can't break me, I done bled through metaphors. Got my city in my chest, I'm a soldier of war, and I'm fighting.
So one thing I would recommend for you is to listen to, like as you're doing that blend, listen to all of them in there.
All of them together?
Yeah, because when you're only listening to one, like you gotta remember these are stacked on top of each other.
All right.
So if you're only listening to the one, your backgrounds in general are gonna sound quieter because you actually have 3 or 4 that are saying the same thing at the same time.
Right, so, and I was gonna say that's another thing is I wanted to send them in different directions so that they're not stacked on right.
Pro Tools?
Not in here. It's usually
so here,
right.
These are stereo tracks. That's why it's 100 left, 100 right.
Okay, because I'm like usually it's just one and you just send it to
100 left and 100 right is the same as what?
As censored.
Exactly. So if you want something slightly to the left or the right, you got to pan one of those sides. Like
so I want that one.
You got to pan one of those sides slightly off, right? So you just pan. Yeah.
Feet, so I stand for something real every time I speak. Put my life in these lines, let the crowd repeat. Every bar a revolution, this ain't mild, this deep. Like Niv said, it's a marathon, not a cheat code. Every setback, got a setup, now I reload. South Central roots, but I'm global with the G code. Ali with the angles when I strike, it's beast mode. Floating over trauma like I'm made for more. They can't break me, I done bled through metaphors. Got my city in my chest, I'm a soldier of war. And I'm fighting for my people till they open the doors.
It's a good blend. What do you know what you would do next?
We would add a compress. Well, no, I don't think we would want to compress these right now. No,
Why wouldn't you?
I think I mean, because we kind of got them to a certain level.
Got them to a level, but...
Well, no, we would want to compress them because we wanted to bring them together to where they're kind of more similar in sound too.
Yeah, so to summarize what you're saying, what I think you're saying is like, yeah, you do want to compress them. Compression is good. You want to make the level of these a bit more consistent.
Right.
So, for example...
We don't want to compress too much, though.
No. So notice when you were trying to find the level of any one of these background vocals, you were like, at one point you're like, ooh, -19 was good, but then something would peak out, right? And then you're like, shit, let me bring it down. And then you're like, oh, it's too quiet now, I gotta bring it up.
So we want to keep it.
This is why you compress.
Consistent.
Exactly. You compress to get a more even, consistent level. And I showed you which compressor is really great at that.
The 2A.
Come on now, so let's use it.
So I'll be on BBs.
Yeah, just throw the 2A on there. So already, it might be compressing a little bit. So press play.
Metaphors, got my city in my chest, I'm a soldier of war.
So we're not compressing at all. So to start compressing, you just gotta increase the peak reduction.
And I'm fighting for my people till they open the doors.
So you wanna see that needle moving a little bit.
Sting like the pain,
Not too much.
like I'm Cassius Clay.
That's cool.
I don't duck no fade,
That's good, actually. Good thing.
let the legacy stay.
So do a before and after.
Long live the slain,
Put it in.
I'm from that cloth, no stain.
So one thing that's very important when you're doing any type of EQ, but especially compression, because usually this is where it happens the most, is gain compensation. Right. So you don't want your volume to be way louder after this. You want it to be the same.
So I would want to bring this down.
Keep the faith in play.
But do it before and after so you can know.
Call me Cassius Clay. Undisputed, undefeated, in my mind first.
So you gotta bring your volume down just a little bit more. Go on the chorus though, where there's no lead vocal.
Like I'm Cassius Clay,
Listen to the before.
I don't duck no fade,
Yeah, it's good.
let the legacy stay.
I would even compress a little bit more.
Long live the slain, I'm from that cloth, no stain.
You can press a little bit more.
Keep the faith in play.
Yeah.
Call me Cassius Clay. Undisputed and
So at that threshold where you just compressed, that was a good point because it felt like the vocals dynamically were just, as you said,
They were in a smooth line.
just very smooth, just like leveled. That's what we call leveled. So if you're ever trying to level some background vocals, boom, there you go. But when it comes to making your lead vocal like sound aggressive and forward and all those things, then definitely use that 76. At least for most, I would say most rap stuff. The CLA 2A works really well on lead vocals when you're doing R&B.
Okay.
Singing, like more smooth stuff. You
Right.
see what I'm saying? All right, so now that you compress the backgrounds, what would you do next?
EQ? No, DS. No,
Well,
we don't need a DS really. We would EQ because they're already
the main thing
they're
is
stacked in a stereo.
the main thing is how do they sound now and how do you want them to sound? You gotta have a vision for how you want them to sound first.
undefeated, in my mind first. They ain't give me no crown, I had to find worth.
So do you want them brighter? Do you want them fuller? Do you want them like how do you want them to sound?
I think they could be.
From the block where survival is the ground. Work.
I feel like they could be fuller.
Fuller.
So we would use that. Will we use that the CLA thing? And why?
So when you say fuller,
no. When I
I have a
say
different
fuller, I
version
mean
of fuller than you probably.
more like I was saying, more roomy, more around, more stereo. I feel like they're still kind of.
More stereo.
I feel like they're still kind
Okay.
of just placed in front of me.
Well, they don't have any reverb,
Right.
so that's a good place to start. Right now they're just dry. So you may want to give them. All right, and this is a key thing too, bro. Don't give the same reverb to your backgrounds as you did your lead.
Right.
The reason is because
They're class.
think of this: if you got a group of 3 background singers over here and you got a lead vocalist, if they're all in the same room, it's harder to tell
Who's
who, right? But if the lead vocal is in this room and you understand the sound of that person in that room with your eyes closed, and then your little 3 background vocalists are in a different room, and you know that room sounds whole different, so they're sounding different. with your eyes closed, you can understand and distinguish the two a lot more, right? But if they're both in the same room, they sound a lot more similar. So don't give your background vocals
the same reverb.
It's not a hard rule, but I would say in general, don't give them the same reverb as the lead vocal.
Okay.
So I wouldn't just send this plate reverb. I wouldn't just put this plate reverb on your background as well. I would use a different reverb.
Okay.
So you want to set that up?
That makes a lot of sense too, especially with one of them to be different because they stand out differently.
Mm-hmm. Right now you're on a sends, so and we don't have another reverb set up, so you actually got to put the reverb on the aux channel itself. Unless you want to set up a new one, you can.
So we have to put it on here?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just go reverb. So right now we're using a plate, so I would switch it up. I would just do something else besides the plate. So you want to use this one?
Yeah, I know this is one that I see. What's the name?
So this reverb is modeled. I'm not completely 1,000% sure, but by the looks of it, this is modeled after like a hardware unit. And a hardware unit is an emulation of a reverb. It's not like a real reverb. Which is fine. Like they have their own sound. But if you want to use like, for example, this Abbey Road's plates. This is a unit this is a famous unit in the Abbey Road studio. Like models the actual physical plate reverb. Like I bet you didn't know plate reverb is actually like a physical thing. You know what I mean? So depending on the sound you're going for, you know, you can get into something like that, or you can get into a chamber. You know, a chamber is a room.
Yeah, I was gonna say that looks like a room.
There's a room. So what they do in here is, you see these microphones?
Mm-hmm.
These microphones are actually what is capturing your reverb sound. So like, and you could do this too, like anywhere. What they're doing is they're taking a speaker, they're putting a speaker in a room. You're playing you're playing your vocal through the speaker in that very reverberant room.
The sound
the room is recording the sound of the room. The mics is recording the sound of the room.
That's dope. So it's like, this is like going to like a fucking canyon or something and actually,
kind of, yeah.
And you picking up that actual sound like that. You picking it up naturally.
Yes.
Instead of, like you said, with the dynamic, the hardware stuff.
The hardware is emulating it.
Yeah.
Simulating a reverb sound, where this is these are all plugins, so we're all simulating something. But this is simulating like a real thing versus this other one is simulating essentially another simulation.
Right.
Simulate
the simulator.
yeah, simulating a simulator. But this is actual simulating like the actual reverb chamber in the Abbey Road studios. So you just got to know what kind of sound you're going after.
Right.
Every single reverb has a different sound. So you just, the more you play with these different reverbs, you'll get familiar. But for example, this is usually chamber. So we'll just call this a chamber. And then on the sends right here, we need to do track, and then we need to go to chamber. And then the easiest way to know what something sounds like is don't even touch it yet. Just send some signal to it.
Mm-hmm.
And just see what it sounds like. So let's do that first. It's dry.
Still I bob and weave.
Okay, let's send some signal.
And now my pockets breathe.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying?
You can't block belief.
So I think the biggest thing that you want to mess with, the first thing I think of when I start messing with the delay or the reverb, sorry, is the tail.
Right.
Usually
that's the most noticeable part.
Usually that's the thing that people mess with the most first.
This ain't mouth, it's deep. Not a cheat code.
Yeah.
It's the feedback. So the feedback is going to sound more natural like in a hall, but this is a chamber. So you can imagine if the sound is continually echoing in there, that's why you're hearing that. That's why you're hearing that sound.
I done bled through metaphors.
And one of the best ways that I try to teach people reverb is like, you just want to make your voice sound like it's in a more expensive space.
Right.
So if you listen here, dry,
I'm a soldier of war.
like it's a good recording, but it sounds like anyone could capture that.
Yeah.
Whereas this sound,
Till they open the doors.
Well, yeah.
not everyone is getting
One
that
sounds
sound.
like you can get it off a phone. One sounds like you actually, like you said, have to go to Sony or something.
Exactly. So one really good way to think about reverbs is like just put your voice in a space that makes your voice just sound more expensive, more elevated. You know, sometimes you do want a reverb like that's super long and it's more like an effect. But in this instance, you just want a reverb that makes it sound like you recorded in like a more professional space. Now it's more expensive.
Every bar a revolution, this ain't mild, this deep. Like Nib said, it's a marathon, not a cheat code. Heavy setback, got a setup, now I reload. Stop saying.
Sounds sick. Alright, yeah, let's do that. So
Flow like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
you said this section right here?
Nah, so it's right.
Hold on, so what you can do, duplicate, but we don't want the active playlist. The reason why I duplicate is I got the same chain, because that's what we want to
Same
keep the same.
plugins.
We want the same chain. Just drag that down.
Still here, Lord, they never thought.
All right, and then at the end of this now,
Just throw EQ.
I would just throw the telephone. This is so big,
No, Diddy.
but basically,
Hey, you said
it's
it.
good, bro. It's good. It's good. Caught me. All right, let's do the high cut.
We rise from the dirt roads. They never saw a king in work clothes.
Y'all funny. Usually when I do telephone, I like to add a little bit more reverb too.
We still here, Lord, they never thought. We rise from the dirt roads. They never saw a king in work clothes. But I kept swinging, kept building, kept butterfly sting like a bee. Keep pushing. I don't fold, I just stick and we still here. Lord, they never thought. We rise from the dirt roads. They never saw a king in work clothes. But I kept swinging, kept building, kept speaking the truth. Cash is clay in the flesh. This is
And the reason why you do the telephone after all of this, all right, for example, if I were to take all this off, all this chain, because a lot of people be like, oh, why do you need that chain? Like, you're just telephoning it anyway. Let's.
Lord, they never thought. We rise from the dirt roads. They never saw.
It's not as present.
Right.
Your vocals in his presence. That's all you want. You still want to keep that lead vocal chain on, and then at the end of it, you just filter out the highs and the lows.
A king in work clothes. But I kept swinging.
That's actually sound perfect because it's not too telephony. Like I probably would have did it, but it sounds
Word.
it sounds still clear enough to where it's like it's dope.
Sick. So that's that, bro. And then maybe, I mean, just to finish.
And I've never did that where we adjust or add more reverb after the telephone. I've never added more reverb.
I usually do just because, like, when you hone in on just the mid frequencies, it can get a little harsh sometimes. So just to add a little reverb kind of helps offset it a little bit.
Peace. Flow like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
You know, you fuck with Maserati?
This is just the easiest, like, just to get a general. If I were to master this track, I would master it in a whole different session, in a whole different way. But this is just so you can get something loud and that kind of vibes or whatever.
The bread, I don't live the slang. Put respect on my stance, I'm from that cloth, no stain. Keep the money in the film, keep the faith in play. I'm the greatest in the mirror, call me Cassius Clay. Undisputed, undefeated, in my mind first. They ain't give me no crown, I had to find worth. From the block where survival is the ground worth. To investments to ownerships, now my time's worth. $1 million visions with a conscience. Talking equity and peace in every conflict. Left the chain link for the chain links and real estate.
more compressed.
Pain in the plans, now I illustrate. They tried to label me a product. I don't duck no fade. I just hustle through the hits, let the legacy stay. Yelling long live the bread, long live the slang. Put respect on my stance, I'm from that cloth, no stain. Keep the money in the film, keep the faith in play. I'm the greatest in the mirror, call me Cassius Clay. Undisputed, undefeated, in my mind first. They ain't give me no crown, I had to find worth.
That clarity, that's just kind of your, like, high end.
From the block where survival is the ground worth. To investments to ownerships, now my time's worth. $1 million visions with a conscience. Talking equity and peace in every conflict. Left the chain link.
Yeah, I mean, I just like using this when you just want to get something quick and easy. Bounce. Solid, bro. Shout out YouTube, man. Let them know who you are.
Hey, wanna be JC? We going crazy. Look, I got pain. I got anger. I got happiness. I got all these emotions to release into this music. And look, I just want to let y'all know I am the greatest of all time. That's why I'm talking about I'm Cassius Clay. So look, check me out. Instagram is SlawSnapJC.
Go to
New
Steve.
music coming soon. Stay with it.
Bing. Hey, I hope you guys have learned something from today's video. I would love to hear your thoughts, so comment below and I'll check those out. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss any of the future videos coming up. My name is Princeton Brown. I'm a producer and mixing engineer based in Los Angeles, and I would love to hear from you. If you have a brand new song that you're working on and would love a mix on by me, send it my way. I would also love to give you feedback on the mixes that you're working on, so please send those my way. Last but not least, I have a free mini course called 6 Mix Finalizers. All of this information is in the description below. Thank you guys again for tuning in and watching. I'll see you on the next video. Peace.
Sonic Gold Production.